This is absolutely a one-sided rivalry. And we've got to say it like it is. Like, we can't say Caitlyn needs to do this, Caitlyn needs to do that. Let's be real. The only reason this is still a rivalry is because the other side of the rivalry won't stop it. And by the way, it is extremely beneficial for Angel Reese to be in this rivalry.
Indiana Fever walk into Chicago, the United Center, no Caitlyn Clark, and they walk out with a W 93-78.
Imagine this. The Chicago Sky had their big Barbie night, all pink everywhere, and everyone was excited about Angel Reese. But guess what? Angel Reese wasn't even playing. And to make things worse, they were about to get crushed by the Indiana Fever for the third time this season.
This is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlyn Clark unnecessarily.
The Fever just walked into the special arena the Sky booked just for them and won big, 93-78.
How have you seen her improve and become more comfortable throughout the season?
She's amazing. One of the best rookies I think I've ever come across of. She's I don't know how to say it, like the ultimate pro. Shows up, no problems, and I think when you have locker room culture happening, you need great people to make it greater, and I think we got a good addition here, so shout out to KK.
Fans even started calling it Fever Night. Even without Caitlyn Clark playing, Kelsey Mitchell scored a season-high 35 points, proving that the big rivalry everyone talks about isn't really a rivalry at all. So, what got Caitlyn Clark so fired up? If you like the Fever, tell us. Fired up. Let's go.
Let's check this out right here. Of course, this is supposed to be the arena that Angel Reese built, right? Question mark. Caitlyn Clark right here signing autographs. Look at these fans. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously. This person over here, show us Barbie. Yeah, not lined up for Barbie.
The news folks want you to believe we're seeing the best rivalry ever in women's basketball. Two young stars, Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese, supposedly fighting it out every time they play. TV channels build it up, social media goes wild, and everyone acts like it's a new Magic versus Bird. It's a perfect story. Iowa versus LSU, Indiana versus Chicago, who will be Rookie of the Year. But it's not a rivalry when the games themselves show something else. Here's what no one wants to admit when the cameras are off. The actual scores between these teams tell a very different story. The Indiana Fever have totally beaten the Chicago Sky 6 times out of their last 7 games. That's not a rivalry. That's one team just consistently winning. Let's talk about this season. The Fever have now beaten Chicago 3 times in a row, scoring a huge 77 more points than them in those 3 games. Think about that. 77 points. That's more than an entire game's worth of points spread across just 3 matches. The first time this season, Indiana won by 35. The second time, they won by 27. And now, this latest Barbie night disaster was another 15-point win. The news keeps pushing this idea because it sells. 2 young stars, different ways of playing, different personalities. But when you actually watch these games, when you look at the final scores, when you see how one team always plays better than the other, the whole rivalry thing just falls apart. And here's where it gets really embarrassing for Chicago. Even without Caitlyn Clark playing, the Fever still came to their place and completely took over on their biggest special night of the season. The Sky planned this special game at the United Center, made the whole Barbie theme around Angel Reese, and then got totally beaten by a Fever team that was missing its best player. What does this big difference in wins mean for the future? It means one team is building something really good, while the other keeps scheduling more games, hoping for different results. The Fever have shown they can beat Chicago with Clark, without Clark, at home, away, in normal games, and on special theme nights. This isn't a rivalry between Clark and Reese. This is just the Fever practicing against a Chicago team that keeps giving them chances to show how much better they are. The Sky set up another United Center game against the Fever, had another themed party, and got embarrassed again. That's not close competition. That's one team repeatedly teaching another a lesson while everyone pretends it's a close fight. Kelsey Mitchell came to the United Center knowing she had to score a lot without Caitlyn Clark. This experienced guard has been solid all season, but what happened next put her name in the Fever history books forever. Mitchell absolutely blew up, scoring a season-high 35 points, shooting an amazing 12 of 19 from the floor, and hitting 7 three-pointers out of 10 tries. That's 70% from way out when your team needs you most. And here's what makes it truly special. Mitchell didn't just score, she made history for the team. She joined Caitlyn Clark as the only players in Indiana Fever history to get 35 or more points, 5 or more helpers, and 5 or more three-pointers in one game. Think about how few players are in that group, only 2 ever, and Mitchell just joined them on Barbie night in Chicago. Mitchell's hard work paid off big time. In the offseason, she trained with a coach who also coaches football, focusing on defensive back moves to get better at her footwork and moving sideways. Those angles and cuts she practiced showed up when she needed to get to her spots against Chicago's defense. Every shot looked easy, every move looked natural. But Mitchell wasn't the only one playing great. Michaela Timpson had the best game of her young career, scoring 14 points on 6 of 8 shots. That's 75% accuracy when it mattered most. Mitchell praised Timpson after the game, calling her a true pro and saying she's always ready. Timpson has that quiet confidence that appears when you need it most. The newest Fever player made an immediate impact too. Chloe Beebe signed her short contract on July 25th and scored 8 points in just 10 minutes. Coach Stephanie White liked how Beebe could spread out the defense and make space for Aaliyah Boston. That's exactly the kind of quick help you hope for from a new player. And speaking of Boston, she got her 3rd straight double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds. But she did even more than just score and rebound. 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Boston helps on every play, on both sides of the court, and Chicago just couldn't stop her all-around game. Lexi Hull hit important shots when the Sky tried to catch up. Her timing and shot choices kept Chicago from getting any momentum, including some tough shots that made the visiting fans cheer loudly. Coach Stephanie White has been saying all season that she has a deep team. She said, having lots of good players means some who deserve to play might not always get to. But games like this show why that depth is so important. The Fever's main players stayed strong for all 40 minutes, even without their best player. This group of supporting players just proved something important. The Fever aren't just Caitlyn Clark and 4 others. They are a full team that can beat anyone on any night. Even when Clark is on the side in regular clothes, signing things and cheering for her teammates, this team keeps winning. The Chicago Sky went all out planning their biggest Barbie night party of the season. Pink decorations were everywhere in the United Center. Special stuff was for sale, and the whole event was built around Angel Reese's Barbie image. The Sky marketing team scheduled this game especially at their best arena, hoping to make it a magical night for their fans and give their team a boost against Indiana. But here's where everything went wrong. Angel Reese wasn't even playing because she was hurt, leaving the Sky without their main draw on their own special night. The Fever were about to ruin this pink party in the worst way possible, and Chicago had no idea what was coming. Social media went crazy during the game as fans watched the Sky get completely beaten on their own special night. People on Twitter started calling it Fever Night instead of Barbie Night. Jokes filled Instagram showing empty pink seats while Fever fans cheered. Videos on TikTok made fun of the event, with people joking that the Sky should have called it Mitchell Night after Kelsey's 35-point explosion. Without their star player, the whole celebration felt empty. Fans came expecting to see Angel Reese play great, but instead, they watched the Fever control every part of the game. The pink decorations became the background for Indiana's winning, not Chicago's success. And honestly, with Reese or without Reese, it still would have been a big loss. Coach Tyler Marsh sounded defeated after the game, admitting that other teams have figured out how to use Chicago's weak points against them. His frustration was clear as he talked about players not following the plan and making the same mistakes over and over. Rachel Baum's attitude after the game showed exactly how the team felt. She basically said the team had a screw-it mindset going into the game, which tells you everything about how confident Chicago felt. When your own players say they aren't mentally ready, that's a big problem. The ultimate shame was having their biggest event completely taken over by the other team. Fever fans were more numerous than Sky supporters in some areas. Indiana players got louder cheers than Chicago's own team. The atmosphere felt more like a Fever home game than a Sky party. Fans literally renamed the event on social media, and that name stuck all night. Nothing hurts more than watching your own special event become someone else's victory party. The clear truth just came out from Chicago's biggest night of embarrassment. The Indiana Fever aren't just beating the Sky, they're showing which team has a real future in this league. This wasn't just another win on the schedule. This was a clear message about where both teams are headed in the next few years. Chicago keeps scheduling more games against Indiana at big places like the United Center. They keep having themed nights and special events, but the Fever keeps showing why that's a huge mistake. Every time these teams play, Indiana wins again, and Chicago is reminded of the big difference between them. Let's talk about what this 6-1 dominance over 2 seasons really means. The Fever are building something that will last, while the Sky keep hoping things will just magically get better. Indiana is third in their group, only 2 games behind Atlanta. They are really making a push for the playoffs with or without their best player on the court. And here's what's really interesting for Chicago fans. Caitlyn Clark spent the whole game signing over 200 autographs for Sky fans who came to see her play. She was still the main focus even while sitting on the bench in regular clothes. That shows you real star power and which player fans actually want to watch. Clark's presence gives her teammates huge confidence, even when she's not playing. The team is being careful with her return, making sure she gets enough practice time to get back into her rhythm. They want her back in the 3rd week of August when she's completely ready. But here's what makes this win so important. The Fever proved they're not just Caitlyn Clark and 4 other players. Mitchell's 35 points, Timpson's great game, Beebe's perfect first game, and Boston's 3rd straight double-double, plus Hull or Cunningham playing great on any given night, show real depth. This team can compete with anyone when their players are healthy and focused. Compare that to Chicago's ongoing struggles. The Sky dropped to 7 wins and 18 losses with this loss, their 5th straight defeat. Their chances of making the playoffs are basically gone, and their rebuilding isn't showing much progress. That's what happens when you can't build consistent teamwork or game plans. The exciting truth is, when Clark comes back healthy for the end of the season, this Fever team becomes even more dangerous going into next year. They've learned to win without her, gained confidence in their depth, and shown they can handle tough situations. Adding Clark back to this group creates something special that Chicago simply can't match right now. Caitlyn Clark was the star of the entire night without even playing. She spent 20 minutes before the game signing autographs for hundreds of Chicago fans, going around 2/3 of the United Center, even as security tried to move her along. That's star power you can't fake. This win puts the Fever at 14 wins and 12 losses, 3rd in their group, just 2 games behind Atlanta. They're building real playoff momentum without their best player. The team is being extra careful with Clark's return, making sure she gets proper practice time to get back into her rhythm. When she comes back healthy, this confident Fever team becomes incredibly dangerous for the rest of next year. If you like the Fever, tell us, get fired up, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you next time.